All right, welcome everybody to a special Zoom. Last night I had the privilege of meeting two people in an organization that's literally exploding, and they just been with us a very short time. And I thought everybody needed to hear why they're exploding in such a right out of the gate, and because they're following the 3 steps to success. But more than that, they have defined their why. They're truly excited about what they're doing. And I love to see this kind of leadership emerge. And I think everybody needs to hear from people like this. And this is being recorded. It'll be on our YouTube in an hour after we get done or so. And but Lydia, I'm gonna let you take over and let's do like we did last night. I want everybody to hear the excitement that I heard, and you can start after you make the introduction. We'll start with Brandon.
It is so great to see you guys on here tonight. I'm so excited. We're just fired up. I'm telling you, like you at the right time. And it's just so awesome whenever you see someone new come in with that new and fresh fire that just jumps in, Mr. Rusty, and they're just like, let's go. And they don't wait until they know everything. That's what I love about Brandon and Lisa, is they were like, we don't have to know everything. We're just going to jump right in. And they've got people on their team that are doing the same thing. Like Miss Kaylee that just jumped on. She's running too. I mean, gosh, the list could go on and on. I'm so proud of so many people. But the fire is just lit. It is burning. It is contagious. And I can't wait for you to hear from some of them tonight. You know, I know last night we kind of got connected and you got to meet them. And they've been in for a month, just a little over a month. One a little under a month, but I'm going to let them share their stories because it's going to come best from them. But you guys just get ready to take the notes, get all the good juices flowing, because this right here is going to be bomb. Okay. This is our time. This is go time. And God's blessing is on our team. His favor is on our team for such a time as this. There are lives to change, and you're looking at 2 of them tonight. So the first person I want you to hear from is Brandon. Brandon is representing our guys. I'm so excited. He's already like my brother, and he just jumped in and he was like, I'm ready to tell everybody about this. So Brandon, you know, you've been in the business like a little over, I think, 2 weeks, and you have just, I mean, you're on your way to being a boss for Emerald. So just tell us, Brandon, you know, who you are, where you're from, why you joined It Works, and tell us a little bit about what's going on. And Mr. Rusty might ask you a few questions from there.
Hey guys, it's great to be on with y'all tonight. I'm Brandon McClain. I'm from a small town in Middle Georgia called Dublin. And like Lydia said, I was looking at it the other day. I've actually been in the company almost a whole month. Come September 21st. I've already got my 3 DTs, my 6 LCs. I'm pumped. And after talking with Mr. Rusty last night, you know, my fire got even more fueled. But to talk about my why, I'm 22 years old, work full time. I am also a full-time student. So as you can imagine, student loans. I want to graduate with no student loans. That's one of my biggest goals. And I also bought a 2018 Jeep Renegade back in March, and I want that paid for before I graduate. And then, like I was telling Mr. Rusty last night, my biggest goal is to have a brand new Jeep Sahara. That's been my dream, to have a Jeep Sahara. You know, Lisa, I tell everybody this, but Lisa bullied me into the company. She kept texting me. She's like, hey, you want to try this coffee? So I tried the coffee. And then she kept texting me like, dude, every time I pray about who I want on my team, your name keeps coming up. So one day I was texting her. Me and her used to work together. I was texting her about work. And, you know, I was just telling her things, you know, if God opens the door, I'm going to walk through it. And she's like, well, look, I'm glad you said that because I've got an opportunity for you. You know, I kept telling her, I want to try the product before I start selling it. I want to try the product before I start selling it. And she's like, I was the same way, but I regret not doing it. I regret not going ahead and starting selling it before I actually tried the product. So, I got on the phone with Lydia and got on the phone with Lisa, and I signed up that Friday night. And since I got linked with the team, I've been doing products. I've lost 6 pounds, and I'm in my 3rd week of trying the products. So that's 3 pounds or 2 pounds per week. And I'm excited. Like I said, last night I got to talk with Mr. Rusty, and he shared with us some stuff. And I went to work, got to talk with somebody, and I've already got another possible distributor. So my fire has been refueled. Every time I get back on our Zooms weekly, I get refueled.
Let me ask you something. At 22 years old, you got student loans, you got a full-time job, you got a car payment, and you're footing all of it yourself. Let me just ask you, at 22, how did you get the direction? What excited you enough to say, hey, I want to do direct sales? I'm going to get it. What did you actually see other than that strong why you got? What did you see your future looking like when you actually got it? It set you on fire at 22 because, you've accomplished more in a 3-week period than most people accomplish in a year. What is the difference of what you saw, but what is that burning drive? What lit you on fire? And I need to say something. I've been doing this going on 19 years full time. It's all I do for a living. I walked out of one of the major banks, and I just come after this crazy. So what I need you to see after 19 years, people say, well, you've been doing it a long time. But then I got a kid like Brandon, and I don't mean any disrespect by calling you kid, 22 years old, younger than my baby daughter, that's come in and lit this thing up. I'm just curious for you to tell everybody what it was and set your butt on fire.
Well, 22 years old, I'm still at home. And my parents have always said, I don't want you just to live comfortably. And that's something that has stuck with me. I don't want to just live comfortably anymore. And like you said, I'm going to show up every day. I've committed myself to show up every day. And that's definitely something that will stick with me through the rest of my career, whether it works, with the rest of my career back, with my job and all.
So let me ask you something. You've accomplished some great feats, and I'm more than proud of you. And I've not personally met you yet. But where do you see yourself going in the next 90 days with It Works Global?
Definitely with the help of the team that we've got, I definitely see myself going diamond within 90 days, not just 90 days, but within the 90 days.
Well, so by going diamond, you do it in the 90 days. That is a pretty major bonus. You've already picked up your Ruby bonus. I don't know if you realize you got a Ruby bonus. You already have accomplished it. For your first month in to be and no disrespect, a college student, just a kid that just basically got out of high school working a full-time job, you're going to make somewhere around $900 to $1,000 this month just so far. But with the momentum you got by helping your team get to the next level, you're exuding extreme leadership, and I appreciate that. But so where do you see yourself in a year? And then we'll go over to Lisa.
A year, wow. A lot of people they think 5 years ahead. I'm just thinking for the now, but a year, it'd be great to be an ambassador diamond, a black diamond, like you were talking about last night, Mr. Rusty.
Absolutely. I think with the momentum we have, and by the way, I need to clarify something. It Works Global is the #1 company in the world with customer 13 to 1. For every rep we got at least minimum 13 customers. The retention rate is crazy. That's why we were over in Success Magazine and the DSA last week. We got recognized for taking it to a whole nother level with our customers. It's because we have a product line that really gets results. And Brandon, you've lost 2 pounds a week on average. You've gotten, I don't know what 6 into 900 is, but that's a lot of, you're getting paid a lot of money like I did to lose weight and to get your health in line. That's pretty cool, I think. Man, I just appreciate, I commend you. The one thing I've heard is I've been talking to Lydia. I've not heard anything about an excuse. All I heard is you keep showing up and you keep showing up and you keep showing up. and you've not made an excuse. And at 22 years old, we expect you to make excuses, but great parents, a great drive, a great why, and you're getting results right now. And did you ever believe that from what you said you could do in 90 days that you're going to be making more money a month than most people make in a year?
Listen, when you told me that last night, my jaw hit the floor. Definitely.
So the biggest thing I want to get across to you is he's got a dream, he has a vision, and he hadn't been botched by society yet. He's not been told he can't achieve it. What he's been told is he can go get it, and he's got the help of a team. See, when you get past 30 years old, you've been told no so much, you start to believe all those lies that everybody else told you. You start to believe you can't do it, and then your actions are conducive to what you've been told is to rearrange your belief system. And I'm going to tell every one of you that's all just a big old lie. And if you get the same drive and excitement that Brandon's got at 22 years old, you know, he's spanking the holy bejeebas out of most people at a very early age in a very short period of time, because he's showing up every day, because he has clearly defined what he wants. And you know what? The one thing I keep listening for Lydia to tell me about an excuse you've made. And so far, when I asked her last night, and when I talked to her and her mother yesterday, I really can't find where you've made any excuse. Oh, you're just hungry to go get it. Would that be a correct statement?
Yeah, I'm hungry to go get it.
I love it. Lydia, go ahead and let's get Miss Lisa on. And here's another lady that in a very short period of time is just slapping this in the next week. And it's beating it. I was told once by my grandmama, says, boy, I'm going to beat you like a redheaded stepchild. I don't know what that was, because I was the firstborn. But that's what I understood Lydia say, that this girl is actually with a team like Brandon. How can you fail? And she's beating this thing like a redheaded stepchild. And I'm talking about getting your health back. I'm talking about conquering debt. I'm talking about living your dreams. And when you come after it and you show up every day, there's absolutely no way you cannot get this done. And nobody has made the most yet. And I'll tell you something else before we go to her. We have to win as a team. One is too small of a number. If you think you're that in a Cracker Jack box, you're temporary. But when you make up your mind, we're going to work together. We're more than a team. We're a family. And when you become part of a family, then we stick together. When you get into it with one of us, you got the whole team to fight with. And you know what? We're going to keep coming at you every single day. All these years later, I can see Brandon at 19 years still coming after it, creating a legendary legacy that his great-grandchildren will be talking about him for generations to come. All right, Lydia.
I love it. You know, whenever I'm sitting here looking, I actually glanced over at Lisa's chart, because every single day we update our charts. And Lisa, as soon as she joined, she was like, you know, she was looking at that ruby level, and Lisa can kind of share if I've got that right. I think I'm right on that. When she shares, she's kind of looking at that extra 500 mark a month. And so she jumped in, and man, she got bots for ruby in no time. And then she got bots for emerald. And then I was like, oh my gosh, Lisa, do you realize you're only 3 distributors away from being bots for diamond? And she's not even 2 months into this. She's just, you know, like a little over a month and a half in. And so Lisa was like, really? And she pulled out her chart. She's looking at it. And what I love about Lisa is just such a big-hearted person. She has such a passion for God, such a passion for people, such a passion for her family, and just a passion to help people change their lives. She serves her customers with the most love and care. She serves her team with the most love and care. And Lisa's hungry. I mean, Mr. Rusty, every day she's messaging me and she's like, Lydia, I'm ready. I want to go diamond. I want my team. I want them to be diamond. She's like, I know I joined for ruby, but Lisa, I think it'll come better from you. You tell them. You told me the other day. Now you've got your eyes on him back. So
let me ask you a question right quick. Can I ask you a question right quick? Now, where are you from in Georgia? What part of Georgia?
You talking to me?
Yeah, you, Lisa. Uh-huh.
I'm from McRae, Georgia. Good old McRae, Georgia.
That's a pretty big place.
It's about 30 miles south.
Ain't that a big city? I mean,
well, it's about 30 miles south of where Brandon lives. Uh-huh. And if you sneeze, you're going to go right through it.
Oh, well, I need to clear
something
up.
It's a very small town, very rural.
Yeah, so you can build a big business in a very small rural community like I live in. The little bitty. If you sneeze twice, we got one stoplight in my little town. If you sneeze, but we got a big organization over here, so you can build it big in a little bitty place. Is that right? All right.
Yes,
Well,
you
go
can.
ahead. I just want to
Yes.
clear that up.
Absolutely. That's okay. That's
Yeah.
okay. Well, I am Lisa Harrelson, and from little old small town McRae, Georgia. Back in May, before Corona hit hard, I actually came across. I've been following Lydia for years, and literally have watched her grow up right in front of me. And she was selling this coffee that was going to make you skinny. And I knew I had some weight I needed to lose. You know, I can't use my baby anymore. She's 13, so you can't use that baby weight excuse no more. So I asked her about the skinny coffee. Send me a sample. I tried it, and y'all, I'm a big coffee lover. I fell in love with the coffee, started on the coffee, and then I got into watching Lydia. So when you hear people tell you people are watching you, but they're not commenting, they're not responding, they're watching you, because I watched her, fully watched her. I looked at her stories. I looked at her Facebook page, and I was looking at all this extra stuff that she was coming into and all these why stories that she had. And I thought, you know what? I've been wanting to make an extra $500 just for play money. I have 2 daughters that are heavy into softball. We play travel softball. And when I say we're heavy into it, we play softball 11 months out of the year. Okay, so between equipment and hotels, because we don't just travel local, we travel state to state. It gets expensive, and there is no play money. And that's one reason, that was my reason for coming in. I just wanted some play money, just so that we could say, let's just go do this, whatever it was. You know, here's $100 to go get you a new outfit. And there wasn't any play money because it was all going towards them anyway. Well, 2 weeks into it, I start watching all these Zooms because, you know, Lydia kept saying, watch this Zoom. There's a Zoom on here and there's a Zoom over here. You got to watch them. I started watching Rusty. I started watching Mark and Pam and Amber Parker, who I absolutely love, Jade Hooper. I was watching, if there was a Zoom on, I was watching that Zoom. I was getting as much information as I could. I was getting hyped up as the more I watched. And I finally texted Lydia and said, girl, I don't even want to go ruby anymore. I'm not seeing rubies. I'm seeing diamonds. Let's make it happen. I'm claiming it right now. We're going diamond. And it's just been, it's awesome because I love this. I'm having so much fun doing this. I mean, I'm playing on my phone all day anyway. I might as well get paid for it, right? I mean, I just can't, I love it because it is making me self-reliant. My husband sits there and says, you're not even going to need me anymore in a couple of months, are you? And I'm like, no, but you know, you can stick around. But yes, I do love this company. It's fun. It's exciting. It's, you know, you asked Brandon, where does he see himself a year from now? You know, rubies are going to be a thing of the past a year from now. I'm going ambassador. I'm going black diamond. And I'm not just saying I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because I am one of those people. Lydia will testify. I am one of those people who will, when I say I'm going to show up, I will show up. I will be there. And I love Brandon with all my heart and soul. He is one of my favorite people. We're going to do this together. You know, we mentioned that we were a team. Lydia mentioned we were a team. Yes, I am all about making sure my team members, I just talked to one of my team members who's on fire not even 20 minutes ago. And she was like, you know, she's got all these potential DTs that are lined up. And I'm like, girl, we're going to get them. We're going to just say it. We're just say it. We're going to claim them. And sure enough, she just texted me. She said, okay, I need you to walk me through how to sign this DT up. Say, what am I saying? You got to say it. You got to put it in, just say it. I write stuff down all the time. I actually have a notebook that has my monthly goals on it. And I send it, she's over there laughing. I see her. I send it to Lydia and I'm like, hold me accountable to this. I'm doing it and I'm claiming it right now. And that's the kind of attitude you have to have in this business. You just got to believe you can do it and it's going to happen.
So the one thing I see from Brandon and Lisa is they're highly excited. You know, we have the best line of products in the world. the before and afters don't lie.
Yes.
You know, I've had some major success with the product line in the last 14, 15 years. I've had some major success stories in the business. Done really well. Not woke up on an alarm clock in 19 years. But see, that's not what excites me. Is all the impact by not quitting, showing up every day with the same vigor, showing up to support the team every day like they're doing. The duplication after all these years, that is the most refreshing thing a guy like me could hear. It's how excited you are, and you just got in, and here you come, and you're as excited about your dream just like we were in the early days. And we're still excited about our dreams, but here's what our dream is. I want to see every one of you go to the next level. You know, I think I was told I got 67, 70 seven-figure earners in our organization, and I'm not satisfied. I'm hungry. I'm so hungry for every one of you to be there. And there's nothing can stop you from getting to that point in life when you make up your mind, when you have that accountability partner. But see, you talk to you more than you talk to anybody else during the course of the day. Are you telling yourself all those lies and believing it? Are you telling yourself where you're going to be tomorrow? Where are you going to be in a month from now? Where are you going to? Nothing can hold you back from accomplishing anything you can dream of. See, most of us ain't really nothing. You're just not. Not me, not Mark, not Pam, not y'all. But here's what makes you something. See, God gave you all those gifts at birth. That's a specialty to you. See, that when God gave you that particular gift, if you go out and apply that gift and you use it, you're going to impact and enrich people's lives around the world. I never thought I'd be in 27 countries with teams all over the world, but at some little podunk town out of North Carolina, born on a farm, no real education. Got lucky with a work ethic in the banking business and done real well, but I was spending all the time that I had away from my wife and two little girls, which I love more than in life itself. And so those were my whys in two little girls, is to be a full-time daddy. And when they told me I couldn't do it, when I had family members that all that won't work, you one of them things, well, all these years later, they still punching the clock and they can't even go down to the coast for a day or 2 days or 90 days or whatever you want to decide to do. When you live your life in an abundant mindset, the abundance will always show up. When you start to claim where it is you're going to go, nothing can hold you back except you. But here's one thing that defines us all, is the action. I don't care what you tell me. Your action determines whether you're telling the truth or you're telling a falsehood. And the one thing sad about that, you can't keep telling yourself, I'm going to do it, and keep procrastinating. Procrastination is cancer of the mind. It's a satanic ritual that we've been programmed through society just to wait till Monday. Well, hell, how's that worked for us all these years? And most of us we have invested our time into people that are called, I call them penny stock people. They will never give you a big return on your investment. You know why? Because they're always trying to figure out why they can't do it or what's going on in the economy around the world. Who cares? We participated in the economy in 19 years. And my job is to help you get to the point where you live life on your terms. You take the alarm clock and you throw it in the trash can. And you said, I forbid anything that interrupts my sleep in the morning to wake me up other than waking up naturally. And when you make up your mind, you're going to do it with that kind of excitement and vigor. See, people ain't going to buy about them products that helped me lose 507 pounds. They don't care that I made several $1 million doing this, and I got a bunch of people that done it. But you know what they do buy? They're buying the excitement of Brandon and Lisa. When you show up, they buy you. They buy your excitement because that gives them hope. When you start to give people hope because you're excited, we could all go to one of my favorite restaurants over in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where there's a pretty big little town. And we could be sitting in the very back of it having a nice dinner, but we could all decide to get up and scream and run down there just hollering like we crazy. Everybody will get up and follow us. They don't know whether we're excited or we're just scared of something, but they will follow you. And when you get out there, just tell them, we're just having so much fun. They're going to want to be with you. See, they're going to buy your excitement. And then you start to develop a story like they have on the products, and you start to develop that excitement that starts to change people's lives. Because what do we say? Well, one is just too small of a number to do this by yourself. We cannot win until we become a team. And when you make up your mind, I'm going to come part of the team and I'm going to show up every day. I played football a lot of years. There was 11 men on the field at one time. Every man had to execute his position every time the ball was snapped, you had to execute. And you can no longer continue in this day and time, be a spectator, sitting in the stands, just hoping something's going to happen, just watching it as life passes you by. But when you make up your mind, life ain't passing me by, because I'm going to get in the game. And when I leave the game, my daughter brought it out of my office an annual that one of my coaches signed a long time ago. He said, you had the muddiest, bloodiest uniforms every time you come off the field. We even had to replace your pants 2 or 3 times because you left it all on the field. So I'm telling you those stories to tell. Leave it all on the field. Get in the game. Have the dirtiest, bloodiest uniforms. When you come out there, the other team says, I don't want to play them no more. No. You know why? Because this is your life. We got to stop allowing other people to dictate our future, but they put circumstances in your way that dictates your future. And you know what? We're all on the clock. If I could say, hey, Patty, we can stop this clock at midnight and we can take a few days off with the but I can't do it. And so that clock is ticking. I don't know how much time any of us have left, but I want to be free the rest of my life. I want to be put in a position to not quit and to impact lives. All these years later, down in some Port Oak town in Georgia, they don't even know a stoplight, maybe 1 or 2, maybe a grocery store, an old country store like I got over here. You go down there, and all these years later, because we refuse to quit, the lives are still being impacted all these years later. Now I want to ask you a question. Y'all tell me what's better than that, and I promise you I can get him on the phone right now. We'll fly over there in a private jet, and we're ready to buy it. But see, there's not. Success starts with you. Success starts with the mindset. Success starts just like Brandon. I got a why. He named 3 different whys that he wanted to do at 22 years old. And now his dream is materializing. His little side deal on the side is starting to materialize right in front of his eyes. You know why? Because he's, by God, excited. He said, I'm not going to show up and get paid minimum wage. And here's what happens. There's a difference between super wealthy people and just people chasing a check. You've been programmed through the school. We're just going to chase a check. And see, when you chase a check, you're always going to be working for money. And see, when you sign that little thing where they can wire that money in your account, you just agree that that's all I'm worth. And you keep on, you'll pay everybody else before you pay you, and you end up broke at the end of the by God week. And you just agreed to it because you signed it. You signed the back of a check. It says all I'm worth. And you go cash it, and they give you that little bit of currency, and you walk off grinning, and you broke again on Monday. But the difference that I learned through Mark Pentecost, no, we're going to make time and money work for us. We're going to invest our time in a particular manner where we're going to create the success through the success of other people. You show me something better than that, I promise you we'll buy it. But there's not a better strategy. It's a biblical principle that when you invest your time in the success of other people, see the beautiful part about what I love, what I do, when I sponsor somebody like Patty or Gigi, I don't get paid till they become successful. So I'm going to invest all the quality time I can so we can all get an ROI, that is return on investment. And when you make up your mind, I'm going to invest and I'm going to invest and I'm going to invest till it happens, you don't quit. You get excited every single day to get in harness with these people and go to work. And you know what? You don't stop and you don't take a breather and try to figure it out. Like Brandon said, I got to no, if you try 1 pack of skinny coffee, you just created an energy story. That's all you need. That's why it sets us apart. And you start utilizing the celery, the greens, the collagen. This stuff I'm drinking here is collagen. And it starts to tighten the old man up at my age. Ain't no wrinkles in my face. I ain't bragging. But I'm going to do the necessary things so I can become healthy for my wife and for my kids. I don't want to become a liability. I was once a liability for my family. But to hear this kind of excitement just thrills me from the inside out and the outside in. You know why? Because we still making a difference. But I want to tell y'all something. We ain't done nothing yet. If you knew what I knew, you ain't done nothing yet. We're coming into the 4th biggest run we've ever had in the history of this company. You know what? I've been here the whole time. I've been on the last 3 big old runs. But this run we're getting on now, the momentum is already building. Here it comes. Everything you've ever dreamed of in your entire life, if you're willing to go to work, there ain't nothing you can't acquire. The only problem y'all gonna have, y'all want me to tell you what the problem you're gonna have? It's you ain't dreamed big enough. You've got little bitty dreams, and they put in little bitty boxes. And most of you ain't even took the lid off the box that the dream came in. And when you make up your mind, I'm gonna dream so audacious, it's gonna give me a headache, and I'm gonna get sick to my stomach, and I'm gonna go in there and pass out. Then I'm gonna wake up in the morning, I'm gonna dream even bigger. So when you start to dream bigger, you perform bigger. And when you start to write down and journal your life, see, here's a pen. What you want to do is you want to rewrite your story. This is your comeback story. I don't care what's happened to you in the past. When you start to write that comeback story, you know what begins to happen? You'll write a blockbuster. And that blockbuster, within the infrastructure of your blockbuster, you're going to change a lot of lives. So you can't make this about me and you can't make it about you. You got to make it about somebody else that needs your help. Your passion has got to become your brand. And when your passion becomes your brand and that excitement, and I was so tore up. I normally go to bed at 11. I get up at 4 a.m. I couldn't go to bed, Brandon, because of you. To about 1:30 this morning, I kept telling my wife, I said, that Brandon, that Lisa, they got me tore up after all these years to come within a short period of time with that momentum, because they ain't making no excuses. They're making things happen. No, they're actually making the phone calls. They ain't saying, well, I ain't emailing them. No, they're making contact with people. And that's what makes this thing explode, because they're what? Excited about their future. And they got some other people excited about their future. You know what? Your future is going to be so big, you hadn't even dreamed big enough for where your future is going. You know how I know? I've already experienced it once, but we're getting ready to experience it bigger than we ever had in the history. You can't be number one in the world and not still be changing lives when your future is fixing to change. And here's how your future changes. Y'all ready? As long as you're willing to help change somebody else's future that's ready for it, that needs it, that wants it, and you show up with that same kind of excitement, there's absolutely nothing can stop you from living any way you want to live life. The only thing that you hadn't done yet is you ain't dreamed big enough. You're still in that little bitty box that your mama told you about, or some coach told you about, or some little boss. What is it to be a boss? He's making 50 cents more than you are, telling you what to do. Ain't that something? But I can tell you one thing. Here's something. What a shame if you don't take an opportunity such as this and take it to the next level. If Brandon can do it in 4 weeks and Lisa can do it in 4 weeks, why not you? I don't know. Why not you? If you can't take it from where you are right now in the next 4 weeks, accomplish everything you said and get this momentum going, because that's what they've got going, momentum based off of one thing. It ain't the product, it ain't the opportunity, it's they're excited about their future. They needed extra money for those babies. I got 2 daughters. He wants a new Jeep and get out of student loans. And I'll bet you everything that we own, Mark and I both, in the next 36 months, he won't have no student loans. He'll have whatever kind of car he wants. In fact, they'll become like big pens. They'll be disposable. You know how I know? Because I already do that. And I ain't saying that to brag. I'm just a country boy from the mountains of Virginia, born on a farm. 4th generation firstborn, dyslexic, and they made me think I was retarded when I was in school. Really. My father used to make me read so I didn't read backwards. But those numbers really click in my head. And when I got a hold of those numbers and Mark showed me these numbers, I said, that'll work if I work. And I got excited. And you know what? I come home when I fired the bank and I took this Bose stereo system my wife bought me. It woke me up every morning. It starts really slow and it gets louder and louder and louder. And I took a ball peen hammer and I beat that thing to death, $600, and I threw it in the trash. I said, you will never wake me up again the rest of my life. And I meant it. Lydia, you got anything else, baby?
No, sir, my phone's blowing up. So excited. They private messaging me. They in the group chat that now's our time, Mr. Rusty. This is our time.
Well, Brandon. Hold on, buddy. Let me get you unmuted here. If I could ask you to tell these people one thing, one last remark from you, Brandon, what would you tell everybody on the Zoom, from a young buck, 22 years old, to tell all these old guys? I see the old guys on here. What would you tell the old guys? Get their asses out of the chair, or what? I mean, what would it be?
Definitely get plugged into your team. Your team is going to be your biggest support. I'm telling you, my team, I may be partial, but my team is the best, so supportive. You know, everybody's posting, hey, I'm signing up at LC, I'm signing up at DT. You know, everybody is just excited. And, you know, that excitement spills over into you, definitely.
And what you're doing is you're just totally engaged in your team and you're making it happen with action. Lisa? All right. Go
I'm going to
ahead.
agree with Brandon 100%. I think just engaging with each other, just engaging with, you know, I send text messages out to every single one of my DTs and their DTs. I want to know how everybody's doing. Are you having a bad day? What can we do to change that? Are you having a good day? I want to hear about that. And, you know, I love being able to get on the phone with Lydia and saying, hey, Kaylee's doing this and Brandon's doing this and my Brittany's doing this and Brandon's Brittany's doing this. You know, again, just being engaged with each other and pumping each other up and just believing in yourself and believing in the people who were your upline and the people who were up under you, believing that those people are there for a reason, that God's put them there for a reason. And Because I fully believe our team is fully blessed, each and every one.
You know what? Here's the bottom line, and we're going to close this Zoom. I appreciate all of you getting, and really unconditionally love every one of you. There's not one thing, the people's worked with me for years, one thing we won't do to support you around the clock. Sleep is just overrated. When you draw your line in the sand and plant your flag that I'm going after my freedom, it's the most noble thing you'll ever do, is go after your freedom. And I'm talking about when you make up your mind, I'm going to be free, that means you're going to be debt free, you're going to be healthy, and you're going to be free of everything that holds you back, everything that ever held you back. Because when you plant your flag and draw your line in the sand, you're going to start to break all the generational curses you've been plagued with for generations to come. It stops with me. Make up your mind. Say it with me right now. Everyone, it stops with me. And when it stops with me, that means we're going to create a new habit. We're going to create new avenues and new streams and new freedoms that they've never seen up to this point, because it's what? It stops with me. Because I believe you deserve more. Guys, I love you. You matter to me. And until tomorrow, y'all make this the best night you've ever had. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Lydia. Thank you, Lisa, and thank you, Brandon.
Thank you all.